You might think the defense wins championships, but my friend, that is not true. The Tournament of Champions wins championships. So buckle up. We got a loaded show here to decide who will have their name in College Crossfire history in the Fall 2025 Tournament of Champions.
You know, I really think that Texas fans should start buying their tickets to the Cheez It Bowl, because I think that's where we're ending up this season.
I respect the game. I'm going to get up, grab the football, go back with my teammates and give the ball to the ref.
Shout out to the Tavern and the Austin Gooners. No, not that type of Gooner.
Get out of my face. I've seen enough out of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a fantastic fall semester here at TSTV Sports, and it has all come down to tonight. Welcome to the Tournament of Champions. I'm your host, TJ Krulitz, and I'm excited to get this highly competitive and very, very emotional tournament started. But before we do that, I want to share that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. We connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere in between. So plan your ride anywhere in Austin this weekend at capmetro.org. If you're an experienced Crossfire enjoyer, you might know that this is the part of the show where I explain the rules. But since today's show is different, the rules have changed just a bit. Instead of 3 contestants, we will have 3 rounds of 2 contestants. In those rounds, I'll have 3 questions that each contestant will answer, and I will reward a point for each question to the contestant I believe had the best answer. Whoever wins each round will then advance to the final rapid-fire round to finally determine our champion this semester. These rapid-fire questions have not been prepared or seen by the contestants yet, so they will have to think on their feet and come up with their best possible answer to win the tournament. If there are any ties, I have a tiebreaker to determine our winner. So now that we have gone through the rules, let's introduce our first matchup. So starting off, she's won 2 Crossfire weeks this semester and has the biggest target on her back, being the #1 seed. Please welcome Penelope Fleming.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It was actually a little surprised that I was the 1 seed, but yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, not a lot of multi-winners this semester. There's been a lot of 1 wins, not a lot of 2 wins. So congratulations being the 1st seed. Let's see if you can own up to it, I guess. So, but the guy right next to her is trying to make one of the biggest upsets in College Crossfire history, being the 6th seed. Tyler Moss, welcome to the show.
Thanks, TJ. Appreciate it. Happy to be here. I think the people don't know this, but literally here by Lady Luck. Is that right? A little bit?
Yeah. Just
a bit. Yeah. You know, so very lucky to be here. But the last time I was on the Tournament of Champions, I was an underdog, and I did advance out of the 1st round. We won't talk about that rapid-fire round after that. But, yeah, we'll see if we can maybe make it happen again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you did win a Crossfire week this semester. So, I mean, it doesn't mean like it's not undeserved or anything. So, hey, welcome to the show, guys. Let's get our first round going right here at the Tournament of Champions. So, question number 1. Selection Sunday is right around the corner for the college football playoffs, and there's certainly a lot of controversy regarding the teams that are competing for a chance to play in it. And with the recent rankings released yesterday, the flame has only gone bigger. So to you, out of the teams that aren't in the top 4 currently, who do you think has the best chance of winning the college football playoffs and why? And Penelope, you get to decide. Do you want to go first here?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I think it's Georgia, unfortunately. I think the Georgia Bulldogs are way more battle-tested than...
I'm going to have to stop you there. I'm saying out of the top 4 teams. Georgia is excluding the top 4.
That was part of the question?
Yeah.
You want me to answer first?
Maybe I don't want to go first.
You can let Tyler go first.
I'll go first. I'll give Penelope.
I wanted to stop you there before.
I'll give Penelope plenty of time to pull out your phone and research. We're starting early tonight, so
got plenty of time to rebound right here. Tyler, go ahead.
TJ, ESPN, watching the selection show on Tuesday. I'm assuming you were locked into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's been a lot of debate about bubble teams. I'll just say there was a graphic thrown up that had the 9th, 10th, and 12th currently ranked teams in the country. What number did they skip there? And I wonder what team that was that they skipped there.
I don't know, Tyler.
Number 11, BYU, is on the outside looking in. Nobody should be surprised here in the studio that I'm going with this. Why are they a 1-loss Power 4 team on the outside looking into the playoff right now? They're going into a conference championship weekend which is more than some other one-loss teams in the playoff can say. Colin, don't tell me to wrap it up. I'm giving Penelope more time. I think that's more than Oregon can say. That's more than Ole Miss can say. That's more than Texas A&M can say. They have a better strength of record than those other 3 teams that they weren't even allowed to be compared to. They have 2 wins over over CFP top 25 teams. I just don't know what they're doing. They're going to come out. They almost lost their coach, but then Crumble Cookie stepped in at the last moment and brought him back. They're going to play with their hair on fire this weekend, and they're going to steal a bid as a 12-1 team, and they're going to run all the way to the Natty and take it home.
All right. Hey, definitely not a surprise for you to pick the BYU Cougars right there. Penelope?
Oh, my goodness.
Second redemption right here.
I couldn't have asked for a worse start. But off of all this research that I just did within 30 seconds, I'm going to go with who I very much want to win if it can't be Texas, because I don't think they're going to make it. Ole Miss. They're my Cinderella story. They're who I'm rooting for. I'm really just pushing for them to have their storybook ending. I think they would be very fun to watch. They've got some extra drive right now, just, with the whole coaching change that just went down. So we're hotty-toddy.
Hotty-toddy. All right. So definitely without Lane Kiffin there, you still think that Ole Miss has a chance here. So
playing with some
Lane
fire.
Kiffin got some foreshadowing for maybe a rapid-fire question coming up. So anyways, moving on to the next question. We won't announce who won each question because we got to keep it a mystery for the very end when we tell who wins the round. So, second question. It's starting to become a new era in the NBA. Players we watched growing up like LeBron, Curry, Harden are all starting to lose their step a bit, and they're in their last years as a player. So with that, a lot of new faces have emerged, and young players have popped up on multiple teams as game changers. So to you, which NBA player deserves their first All-Star nod the most? And Penelope, you go first.
Okay. So I was a little surprised to see that Austin Reeves has never been an All-Star before. He's always been consistent, but right now he's at the top of his game. His stats, I guess it's not all that surprising because his stats significantly jumped from even just last year. He's averaging 27 points per game, 7 assists per game, 6 rebounds. So he's on top of it. The Lakers look great right now, second seed in the West. So he's a huge part of the reason why. So give me Hillbilly Kobe.
Hillbilly Kobe, all right. Definitely a pretty good duo, the Luka Doncic this season so far. Tyler?
Yeah, I don't really follow the NBA all that much, TJ.
Oh, my gosh. Tyler, come on.
I watch a lot of college ball, so I'm looking at these guys, and, I see somebody who's almost averaging a triple-double. And I understand in the NBA that people are getting triple-doubles a lot more than college ball. But Josh Giddey, are you kidding me? He's averaging about 24 points a game, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, to almost average a triple-double. Like, he's got to be doing that almost every other night, it seems like, because they play that much, right, I think, almost every other night. And then he's shooting 37% from 3, almost 40% from 3. That's outrageous. So I think the numbers that he's putting up in Chicago, I don't know the standing of Chicago, but Josh Giddey himself putting up incredible performances. So for him to not have an all-star, I think this is the chance for him to break into that all-star game.
Yeah, it definitely is getting a little bit less rare for players to average triple-doubles, but still, nevertheless, it is a very, very big accomplishment for somebody to do so. All right, so we got 2 questions down already. Again, won't say who won that question. We're going to go to the rapid-fire question, which I already kind of talked about this before, but Lane Kiffin, he recently left his head coaching gig at Ole Miss amidst a 11-1 season to be the next head coach at LSU. This has left many fans, especially at Ole Miss, shocked and disappointed in the decision. So with Ole Miss on the verge of a playoff, my question to you is, if you were a coach that was about to make the playoffs for the first time in school history and another school came up to you asking to be their coach, what would they have to offer to get you to leave your position like Lane Kiffin did? And anyone can answer whenever. Take your time, but not too much time.
This is why Lane, a huge reason why Lane left. But what makes the world go round? Economics. You'd have to give me a pretty big check because I like to think I don't agree with what Lane did. I would have stayed at Ole Miss if I were him, but a lot of dough. That's
a lot of dough.
Just
how much?
But
dough?
like
Put
a
out
lot,
a number.
a lot in the billions.
In the
With the B,
billions.
because I really do feel like my answer before. I really do feel for Ole Miss, and I don't think he should have done that. But billions, we're talking B instead of M's anymore. Like that means something.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only. I think that's
I
the
don't know
only
if
thing.
LSU can compete with anything once you're offering your head coach billions of dollars, but that's a steep price right there, Tyler.
Now, TJ, I'm a pretty loyal guy myself. I think if we were on the verge of a playoff, depending on where I'm coaching, I like to stick around. Obviously, I feel like the jump from Ole Miss to LSU isn't that great that I personally wouldn't have done it. I don't think for that much. I'm a pretty simple guy also. Like, I'm loyal, I'm simple. If I had somehow, some way to have, like, just an eternal, like, scientifically, just make me be able to figure out how to get an endless amount of Dr. Pepper, I think. And you could get me to go wherever you wanted me to. Maybe the contract is really average. Maybe they're not even offering me more. If they make it so that I can, like, poof Dr. Pepper into my hand right now, I would leave. I would do that.
That is a great answer, Tyler. I mean, heard you might be becoming the next head coach of Fansville over there at Dr. Pepper.
That would be great. That would be an all-time gig.
All right. That was a great way to start off the Tournament of Champions right there. But with that being said, we can only have one person advance to the final round, and that winner is, drumroll please, that is Penelope Fleming advancing to the final round. You got your redemption. Somehow.
I was a little scared for a minute. When you stopped me, I was like, but I'm glad, alas, we pulled through. I'm very happy.
I wanted to make sure that you got that answer.
Yeah, if you would have let me
accurate,
finish,
at least.
I appreciate you giving me the chance to. I appreciate the time given. Very, very gentlemanly.
Yeah, that was some pretty nice sportsmanship right there
Yes.
from Tyler Moss too. I gotta admit, man. So congratulations to you, Penelope. Great job from both of you guys. But don't leave just yet. We still have 2 more matchups to go through before the final round. We'll be right back with our next 2 contestants. change your answer. Welcome back to College Crossfire's Tournament of Champions. We have our next fighters on the mound here who are looking to meet Penelope in the final round. Our first contestant, for the first contestant of the second round, sitting as a 2 seed after winning twice this semester. Always has some haters in the crowd when he joins the show. Probably not right here because there's not really too big of a crowd, but please welcome Colin Flickinger.
Wow, I got some claps. Nolan's not in the crowd, so I didn't get booed. That's great. I didn't get, I got a new intro from TJ this time, not talking about the terrible towers. So I think we might be getting there.
You're welcome.
We might be getting there.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you can get to the final round today, because his opponent right here trying to stop him, a guy who roots for probably the 2 most disliked teams in the state with the Cowboys and Astros.
Yep.
Welcome back to the show, Aidan Urbach.
Thank you, TJ, and I'm very proud of that. The Cowboys are currently 3-0 since the trade deadline, and Kevin Patullo is getting eggs thrown at his house. So it's Christmas came early, for Cowboy fandom and for my household as well. Colin's a great guy. He's stoic but deadly at the same time.
Whoa.
I like stoic more than emotional.
That's
Yeah,
the
exactly,
most
exactly.
compliments
you look like a very
Colin has
educated
gotten
guy.
on
He's
this
from
show.
Virginia, so, it's going to be a good game.
All right, well, let's get started with the second round, number 2 seed versus number 5 seed. First question. Texas men's basketball is currently battling it out against Virginia at Moody Center. And does anyone know the score, by the way? Whoa, okay, all right. So, I mean, it hasn't been a bad year, kind of, but that's a pretty bad start to the game. It can't be as bad as last year, maybe, right? Last year they finished 14th in the SEC at a 6-12 record, so there almost isn't anywhere else to go but up, at least in the SEC. So, to you, what do you think Texas's SEC record will be this year? And tell me why you think it will be different or the same for them this year. Colin, are you starting off?
I am. I think
right.
it's gonna be. It's gonna end up being probably 5-13. I think it's gonna be a small step back. I just don't think that Texas got better. I mean, you look at the wins last year, and it was Trey Johnson taking over the game. You think about his 30 bomb against Texas A&M and 32 against Kentucky. I don't think that there's a player on the team that can step up and take control of big games like that consistently throughout the season. I'm really just not moved by any of the guards on the team. So I really just don't think that there's a player on the team that's going to be able to step up in conference play and pull out games. It's still, conference basketball. There's going to be games you win that you probably shouldn't have. There's going to be games that you lose that you should probably win. I still think they can get 5, probably LSU, and then a handful, or take your pick of upsets of others. But yeah, I think 5-13 is just about where the team is going to end up this year.
Losing Trey Johnson is definitely pretty tough, but I mean they still brought some people in. But 5-13, not a bad answer.
I actually think it's going to make him better, Trey Johnson not being there. As you see, they have more depth than they had in the past couple of years. I mean, this whole rotation's deep. Against North Carolina State a week ago, TJ, in Maui, they had 6 guys all reach double figures. And I just want to point out the SEC, they're not the superior blue blood conference that we saw 2 years ago. No top 10 teams are in that conference right now. Tennessee, Syracuse just lost to Tennessee. We've seen some really star guys like Janai Broome, Chaz Lanier. They're not even there anymore. Walter Clayton Jr. Florida's had just lost to Duke. I really see this team really performing well. I don't think they'll be a top 4 team. I don't think they're a Florida caliber, of course, Auburn caliber or Alabama caliber. But I definitely think they made a huge splash. Also, Sean Miller, unlike Rodney Terry, he's actually been to an Elite 8. He's been to 4. And every team he's coached, Arizona, Xavier, he's all been to Elite 8. I think he can do it this year. Dalen Swain, they've all had some great experiences within the past couple of years. They've really made some splashes, and I think Texas can perform well. And who knows? I mean, with the next couple of games, obviously the Virginia game, they can really turn things around. So give me Texas at 11-7.
11-7. Gotcha. Well, I like the answers, guys. Again, we won't say who won. I like the Rodney Terry disrespect. He wasn't that good, but
Good
I do have to
years
say
ago.
he did make the Elite Eight.
Better than Crest Beard.
So going into the next question now, being in December now, we have had some cold weather, and it finally is starting to feel like hockey season. Because of it, the NHL season is in full swing, and the standings are starting to get more consistent now. So to you, who makes the playoffs this year that didn't make the playoffs last year, and why? Aidan?
Let me go with the Chicago Blackhawks, okay? Without Patrick Kane. I mean, this is a team that's had a really bad years. Much like Chicago fandom, they've had a huge slump. However, I mean, they're getting a good return on their investments. They've had a couple of top 10 picks that are now really performing well. I think the Chicago Blackhawks right now, they can really do some things. They're great on power play. They're great on the blue line. They can score some goals. They just need to defend well and goaltend well. And I think the Chicago Blackhawks can really make a statement, much like the Las Vegas Knights. When they had an expansion, I think the Chicago Blackhawks can do really well without their star man Patrick Kane, who has not been on the team in quite some time. I just got an alert today that he's not on the team. But anyway, Chicago Blackhawks, I think this is a team that can really do some damage against teams like the New Jersey Devils, the Florida Panthers, some of the premier powerhouses of the NHL.
All right. I mean, hey, not a bad answer. They definitely have been doing pretty well in a very competitive Central Division. So, yeah, Blackhawks, Colin?
As much as I want to say the Penguins, I just don't know if we're going to be shipping players off the deadline or not. It feels like every other day I'm seeing Tristan Jarry mock trades and, Ricard Raquel, Brian Russ being offered for first and second round picks to other teams. And so I'm just not sure if we're going to blow it up or not. So I'm going to have to go with the Anaheim Ducks. They're currently playing in the weakest division, in the weakest conference in hockey. They have the highest points percentage in their division by quite a bit. They are one of two teams in the Pacific to have a positive goal differential. The only team behind them is the Knights. Speaking of the Knights, 8 overtime losses. That is completely unsustainable for almost a quarter of your points to be loser points in the NHL. That's not going to last you for a season. The team behind them, third in the Pacific, is the LA Knights, who have 7 loser points.
LA Kings, you mean?
I did say Knights.
You're good?
Kings. LA Knights is a wrestler in the WWE. The LA Kings, who are, in fact, 7 loser points, negative goal differential. The two teams behind them, the Kraken and the Sharks, also have terrible goal differentials. They're games behind. They're multiple wins behind. I think that the Ducks, with Carlson and Gauthier, are going to be one of the teams that makes it to the playoffs that missed it last year.
All right, yeah, the Ducks leading the Pacific Division right now, and the Knights are going to make the playoffs. The Knights are going to find a way to get back into it. But the Ducks, great answer. Let's move on to the very last question of this round, a rapid-fire edition. Aaron Rodgers, he had to briefly exit the game Sunday. I know Colin, likes the name Aaron Rodgers. He liked that I mentioned that name. But Aaron Rodgers briefly exit the game Sunday night because of a hit that made him bleed from the nose. Now, I usually don't condone violence, but there are plenty of people in America that would certainly take the opportunity to hit Aaron Rodgers if they had a chance. But to you, if you had a chance to sack any NFL quarterback, who would it be and why? And then again, anyone can answer at any point.
Does it have to be current?
Yes.
I mean, it would have to be Aaron Rodgers. It would have to be Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers has had a huge rapport of dominating, especially in the NFL playoff times, really knocking off teams. I'm a huge diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I think that's evident. That's been mentioned before. 2014, I mean, that was our best year for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, really things, DeMarco Murray was the best running back in the NFL, and they had a great tandem between Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. I mean, they were winning the game across all 4 phases until that Sam Shields stupid play. Dez Bryant caught that ball. And then 2 years later, Dak Prescott's rookie year, I think that was the best year in Cowboys history for a long time since, I guess, 96 under Barry Switzer, who I hate Barry Switzer. But Dak Prescott, I think, that whole Mason Crosby kick right there at the end, really kind of catapulted my hate for Aaron Rodgers even more.
All right, Aaron Rodgers. Colin?
Can I hit 2 people if one of them's an alter ego? I want to take out 9. J.J. McCarthy. I have hated him since he was at Michigan. I have never gotten the hype with him. Ever since they knew the defensive play calls in college and still only let him throw 15 times a game. We should have known he was going to be terrible, and he still got drafted as high as he did. He can't play. He's terrible. And then he's in the locker room talking about his alter ego needs to come out 9, and then he's doing that. I'm sure everyone's seen the video of him nodding his head and trying to get really into it, just looking really stupid and really hittable. So I think that J.J. McCarthy really deserves 1 or 2 targeting face mask shots straight to the head.
I do like the meditating. I try to meditate every time I see Aaron Rodgers on the field because I feel like I'm going to lose that match.
I just stop watching whenever he goes on the field. I'm a Steelers fan.
All right, that's 2 good answers right there to end the round. We have another contestant advancing, all right, and that will be, drum roll, please. Play drum roll. Staying on par with the 1 and 2 seed, Colin Flickinger, gonna advance
Let's
to
go.
the final round. You got anything to say, real quick?
Yeah, JJ McCarthy is a bum. Also, glad Cody Gauthier is doing well. Shout out the Ducks, freed from the chains of Philadelphia.
Yeah, hey, good shout out right there. So, well, congratulations.
We're not turning we're not turning my nickname into an adjective. We're not turning my my nickname into a
That's
verb.
crazy. Well, we got another winner. Stay tuned for the last round before the final rapid fire round. You won't want to miss it. We got 2 more people coming up. All right, if you're still here with us, we have reached the final matchup of the first round. These 2 are battling out to see who will join Colin and Penelope in the final rapid fire round. First off, the 3rd seed, someone who will mention Houston sports any moment he can. Welcome to the show, Tyler Strempel. Got the mic right here.
Look, I got to mention it because no one else is going to. We have basically 0 things if you to go past 2022, so like I got to mention it somewhere. Excited to be back. I got robbed last episode. You know, I got unfinished business.
All right. I feel like everyone always thinks that they got robbed in Crossfire. I can't lie. I know I did, but I'm just saying. We don't have to put it on air, all right? I told that in confidence, all right? His opponent, she was a hot dog for the Halloween show, and we're looking for the first upset tonight. Please welcome back Parker Keston.
Thanks. Excited to be here. Go Bills. Bills to the Super Bowl.
Bills to the Super Bowl. All right. Well, win the division first. All right. We got.
Hey, let me have it, please.
All right.
Wild card.
We're gonna get wild card now. It's true. It's true. All right. So, first question of the C block. We got. We can't go this entire show without mentioning the Texas Longhorns defeating the undefeated Texas A&M Aggies in the Lone Star Showdown last week by a final score 27-17. While the performance was what all Texas students wanted, it's still up in the air if the Horns will make the college football playoffs or not. And if they don't make the playoffs, well, you have to admit it was a pretty disappointing season. The Longhorns weren't aggressive in the transfer portal market last offseason, which is expected to change. To you, what position should the Longhorns prioritize the most during the transfer portal and why? And Tyler, since you're the top seed, you get the pick. Do you want to go first this question?
I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Okay.
So there's one position where we saw, even as early as Ohio State, there were some major holes after we lost some key people last year, and that's the offensive line. We lost Jake Majors. We lost Kelvin Banks, and immediately it was apparent that that was going to become a problem. Arch had less time in the pocket. We're averaging more sacks per game. Now, going into this season, or going into next season, DJ Campbell's going to be gone. Cole Hudson's going to be gone. And now somehow an offensive line that is already filled with holes is just going to get more holes in it. Now, in order for Arch Manning to be able to throw to a wide receiver core who admittedly just got a 5-star recruit like 2 days ago, there needs to be some recruiting happening. And not only does there need to be recruiting in the offensive line, specifically the interior, there needs to be some production from the freshmen to be able to unlock the offense. Because if you look at the losses against all 3 teams we've lost to this year, the offensive line was pretty bad in all of those games. So in order to be able to throw to a wide receivers, or to even have time to hand it off, or to allow a terrible run game this year to improve at all, there needs to be major improvements in the offensive line. Texas has already recruited 3+ star offensive linemen, so clearly they see there's an issue as well. And I anticipate they're going to go for a lot more recruits as the recruiting time period goes on.
Yeah, and that was something that Sark mentioned in his presser today, one of the biggest needs. So, Parker.
I'm also going to go with O-line. I mean, I think that's kind of the only right answer here. However, more specifically, I think the interior O-line, especially at center and guard, I mean, like Tyler mentioned with Cole Hudson and DJ Campbell leaving, we really need depth, we need experience, we need leadership at those positions. And you know, their inability to protect the quarterback and make big plays also kind of affected the outside O-line. But I will say Arch had 23 sacks in the year, tied for 6th most of quarterbacks in the SEC. At Florida alone, he had 6 sacks. I mean, that's obviously not a good stat. Also, I mean, talking more about the run game, we saw what an explosive run game can do, especially against A&M with Trey Wisner. He had 19 carries for 155 yards. And if we can't deliver with a run game like that, you know, like that's – what else is the O-line going to do? So we really need O-line to kind of fill in for those gaps and, you know, kind of build up the run game and the pass game. However, I will also say we kind of need to invest in special teams. Special teams has really bailed us out of a lot of big games this year. Like, look at Kentucky, Mason Shipley with an 82% completion rate, 100% on extra points. And also, I mean, we've seen how special teams can really help us. We've also seen how they can really hurt us. Hate to put salt on a previous wound, but, I mean, how could we forget Bert Auburn? So I think special teams is another thing we really need to invest in this year.
I would do anything to forget about Bert Auburn, I will be honest. But, yeah, I mean, both great answers. Definitely, again, Sarkisian mentioned in his presser today that the most pressing need for them in the transfer portal is the offensive line. So great answers. Connor Robertson might be returning. We don't know yet. So we'll see how they go, how aggressive they are in the transfer portal with that position. So moving on to the next question. We are staying in the college realm for this question. The Texas Longhorns women's basketball team dominated during the break with key wins against top 5 opponents in UCLA and South Carolina. This has gotten them all the way up to number 2 in the recent rankings, with a lot of people saying they should be ranked number 1 at this point. To you, what was the biggest reason for their victories this past week, and what makes them such a dangerous team? Parker, we'll go right back to you.
I mean, I think it has to be Rory Harmon. I don't see how there's any other correct answer. Rory Harmon, this team on their revenge tour, I mean, kind of avenging their loss after the SEC championship last year, Final Four last year. I mean, we all saw that that game-winning jumper against South Carolina, 0.7 seconds left in the game. That is insane. Like, her ability to control and dominate the court, her defense, her accuracy, her leadership. I mean, there's not much else to say. Rory Harmon, the GOAT. And then the second part, what makes them dangerous? I think inside scoring, their ability to have a really high percentage of scoring inside the paint is really important. I think the 1-2 punch of Madison Booker and Rory Harmon, their ability to kind of harmonize and really challenge their opponents on the court, I think is really key to this team. And then also Vic Schaefer has just developed a really, really deep roster that has helped this team. This team is versatile. There are players that can step in at any and all times. This entire team is just really effective. And lastly, I think our defense is really able to step up when our offense isn't playing well or isn't healthy. So I think those are definitely some of the things that makes Texas women's basketball very dangerous.
All right. But a lot of, that was a lot of explaining. Great answer. Tyler?
So, yeah, for the first part of the question, I mean, there's no question. It's the obvious answer. Rory Harmon was the key to winning against South Carolina and winning against UCLA. 26 points, 5 assists against UCLA, and then 9 assists against South Carolina. Not as much in the point scoring, but those 9 assists really key, and then, of course, that 0.7-second jumper. But a lot of that stems from an increase in tempo. You look at Texas women's basketball from last year, and they had some games against big opponents. My mind goes to Tennessee last year, where they started out really slow. It seemed kind of sluggish, and then they kind of pick it up just just in time for them to win those games. And against these games, against number 2 South Carolina, number 3 UCLA at the time, not anymore. The up-tempo offense and the up-tempo defense, they are finally being able to just disturb the motion, disturb the flow of these really good teams to kind of make them bend to their will. And that kind of goes into Vic Schaefer's, one of his most important qualities that he preaches for is physical, hard, up-tempo basketball. And this is really key because in that tournament, there was a 7-player rotation. There was not a lot of depth going on the bench. There were 2 players on the bench at any moment. So they did not have the ability to really spread the minutes out. People had to play the whole game or most of the game. And that up-tempo, physicality, grit, hard basketball that Vic Schaefer preaches is the reason why Texas is as dangerous as they are. And if they continue that physicality and that up-tempo basketball through the SEC play, they're going to be title contenders.
Both great answers right there. I like that you guys, of course, both mentioned Rory Harmon. I think she's the biggest X factor to this team succeeding, going later into the season with the SEC and also the tournament. Also talking about Vic Schaefer, his proven system, and the versatility, the momentum that they have, the front court physicality. All great answers so far. We have the last question for this round. So, again, another rapid-fire question. So, we've ignored the NFL for the most part so far, so I think it's fair to bring them up into another rapid-fire question. So, the question will be pretty simple. To you, who in the league have the best jerseys in the league and why?
Give me the Chargers alternate uniforms, the Navy jerseys, the Navy uniforms. Those are awesome. I love those. I think they look so cool on the field. They look so sleek. They look so uniform. They look so good. And also, I think compared to some of the Chargers' regular uniforms, like those yellow pants are absolutely heinous. So I think that Navy uniform, I've got to go for Chargers Navy alternate uniforms.
I know, right? It kind of ruins the baby blue jerseys that they have when they get that yellow pants on. Yeah. So, Tyler?
So I was also sort of thinking Chargers, but of all the ones, the Navy's my least favorite one.
Wow.
It harkens back to a time in San Diego when no one wanted to watch. I honestly think if you look at every single uniform,
Chargers.
Look at the primaries, look at the alternates especially, Tampa Bay. Those Tampa Bay jerseys are absolutely, those creamsicles might be the best jerseys in the NFL, one of the best in NFL history, but even the regulars, the pewter helmet, the beautiful, just clean colors with like really nice font. Like it's just an easy uniform to look at and so much better than those Jameis Winston clock jerseys, by the way. Those were awful. The Buccaneers just have a very well-maintained wardrobe. There's no uniform where you think, why are they wearing that? There's no part of the uniform where you're like, why is that a part of the uniform? It's clean. Those creamsicles are absolutely phenomenal. They have the most balanced, best wardrobe in the NFL.
All right, yeah, the Tampa Bay. So you kind of went with one jersey. You kind of went with the whole entire team. Let me try to think. All right, I think I know who my answer is. All right, so we had some fun in that round. Great answers, great analysis. But once again, only one can advance. And that winner is, drum roll again, and a lot of drum rolls so far, Tyler Strempel, winning with the last question. Congratulations, man. Unfortunately, no upsets this round, but you got anything to say?
You know, sometimes you just got to go by the chalk. What great answers. Well done. That was a really fun thing to be a part of. I'm excited to go to the next round. Really, you know, show people I don't know what I'm going to say. I completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the when you win it. Actually, you gotta
You gotta
wait.
wait till I can't say too much. I'll say this: watch out for the Texans defense. You don't want to You don't want to be matched up against them in the playoffs.
There's the Houston sports mention. What did I say? What did I say?
Also, Alper and Shangoon.
I don't even know if you can see it in the.
You can't see
you
the
can't
jersey
even
at
see
all.
it. All right. Well, again, yeah, great analysis from both of you guys. All right, we have our final 3 contestants for our rapid fire round. It's coming up right after this quick break, so don't go anywhere because after this, it'll be all gas, no brakes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have spent so much time together here on Wednesday nights debating, and it all comes down to this, to decide our champion this season. Now, let's mention our contestants one last time before we start. So we have first seed Penelope Fleming right here, second seed Colin Flickinger, and third seed Tyler Strempel. We got no upsets, straight chalk right here. So let's see who is the best who wins the Tournament of Champions this week, or this semester. Sorry, I'm all over the place apparently. All right, this final round is the rapid fire round. Once again, all questions have not been prepared or seen by the contestants. It will be all gas, no brakes from here on out. Let's get right into it because I'm a mess apparently. The first rapid fire question this season mentioned first down celebrations. And some contestants, Colin was part of that first show, some contestants didn't really like the idea that we would come up with a celebration for just moving the chains. So I upped the scale a little bit. You just scored a touchdown. What would be your touchdown celebration? You know, it came full circle moment here, y'all.
My favorite touchdown celebrations are the ones that involve the entire team. Those are just the best ones to watch. And the one that comes to mind first, bowling. You take the person who scored the touchdown, you take the rest of the players, put them in bowling pins, and then you roll, because they can somersault. I can't, but they can. And you roll them in the bowling pin. Something that involves the whole team. I'm talking about a touchdown celebration that would get the Sunday Night Football camera right up in there. Something made for prime time. Something that, like, you see that and you're like, yeah. Not like a touchdown celebration that you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Because there are some touchdown celebrations where it's just like, why do you do that? Or, like, it's not that great because it's one person. But those team celebrations, they get you hyped.
All right. Team celebration right there.
Do you want it?
I gotta ask, can we create a situation before the touchdown?
Go ahead. It is free range right here, pal.
Picture this. Texas versus Texas A&M at DKR. 3 seconds left on the clock. Fade route into the end zone. Moss the cornerback. Run up the stairs into the student section and start crowd surfing. The game's over. It was 3 seconds left. I caught a touchdown on a tie game. Clock's dead. What are they going to do? Throw a flag for excessive celebration? Game's over. I run into the student section, crowd surf. Throw my helmet away, throw the football as high up into section 26 as I can, and ride that crowd until they sing the Eyes of Texas.
You know what would be cool, though? If you were to score a touchdown against A&M and you would, like, mock the yell lead. You know, like, do a little, pass it back. That would be pretty fun. Penelope?
Yeah, I like the interactive ones. Anybody that knows me knows I am a huge sucker for nostalgia. So I really like I can't remember who was initiating it. It was the Lions, right? That were doing all the the High School Musical dances. I would do, and remember for all those 2000s kids when Disney Channel would have during the commercial breaks like the tutorials for each thingy. So like I still know Cruising for a Bruisin' and Surfs Up from like. So, if you incorporate that in the end zone, I mean, that's gold. That's gold.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, y'all definitely gave some great answers. I'm going to have a tough time adding up these answers from you guys. Great answers all around. Let's get into the next question, though. So this rapid-fire question might be a little outdated, but shout out to Kay Amon for recommending this because I think this can get some interesting answers. Now, before we get into it, I have to clarify for legal purposes we are joking and this is all satire. Now that we have that out of the way, let me start the question. Shedeur Sanders had his house broken into a few weeks ago, where the burglar stole approximately $200 million in property value. That's what they estimated. This isn't the first time an athlete's home has been broken into. Matter of fact, it happens pretty often. Now, if you were a robber, what athlete's house would you break into and why?
This isn't even my answer. Is he living in the Louvre?
Apparently.
200 million.
That is what they said.
That
I swear.
Not the property value of the house that was broken into?
I don't know. That's what they said. I looked it up. Anyways, let's ignore that. Let's get this answer.
Did Shedeur steal Napoleon's crown and they stole it back from him?
I don't know what they stole. 200,000. I think is what I meant. Sorry.
I think that said million.
Did I say 200 million?
Maybe.
My fault, y'all.
I think that somebody that I've had a lot of admiration for and his personality and his style and everything like that is Jimmy Butler. And I would rob Jimmy Butler because I too am a big coffee connoisseur. And he would have all the, the espresso material and everything. He actually went on an episode of Architectural Digest showing his house. So it probably wouldn't be that hard to find, high tech. I could find the place if I really wanted to do that. And it looked beautiful inside. I mean, the interior, we have very similar style and everything. So there's a lot of goods that I could get from there that I could incorporate into my lavish life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, I was expecting like getting money and stuff. You brought up some others, the coffee, Yeah, that's a big thing. Tyler. Oh boy.
assuming that we're like this is a situation where we're able to break in and get past security and stuff, you got to go for the athlete who, if you're gonna shoot for something, you're gonna shoot for the moon. Shaq's house is absolutely massive. He has so much stuff in there. You know, he's got all this memorabilia we don't even know about. He once had the biggest purchase in Walmart history because he got traded once. If you think that he's not going to splash money into every room at that house, you're absolutely incorrect. He owns like 3 companies. I'm getting all the memorabilia from when he was a Laker and all the other teams. So not all the other teams, but the good ones. I'm getting rings. I'm getting money. I'm getting he's got some weird statue in some kind of room in there. I'm gonna take that. If you're shoot for the moon, if you're gonna break into any sports person's house, because no matter what, you're gonna get caught. So, Shaq.
It's gonna get reported on for sure. Yeah. So, all right.
You know a sports person who deserves nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing good to happen to them ever. It's JJ McCarthy. I'm breaking into his house. I'm stealing all his Michigan jerseys and burning them. I'm stealing his championship ring and throwing it in Lake Michigan. Everything good that JJ McCarthy has, I'm breaking into his house and destroying it. He does not deserve anything good. I get flashbacks
not even for the monetary gain.
No. Just you're a hater. Yeah, what monetary? He's already spending all of his contract on his rookie dinner. Like, he probably gets fined every time he throws an interception, and we know how many of those he's throwing. You know, J.J. McCarthy, I think back to that when on my freshman year at Michigan State, when I was in the crowd. I skipped going home 2 days early during our fall break to watch Michigan thrash Michigan State 49-0. And J.J. McCarthy celebrates directly in front of me in the front of the student section and flips me off. He did it to the entire student section. It wasn't just me.
I was expecting that, just like the Flyers fan who spilled beer on you.
Okay, but that one was personal. But JJ McCarthy flips the bird to the entire student section, and I've hated him ever since. You know, I think that he deserves nothing good. Do you think he has his key to his car in the house? I could probably steal that, crash into a telephone pole. Yeah, his jerseys are getting thrown in the trash. Is he married? Might throw away his wedding ring. I just don't think he deserves anything good. So I'm going to break into his house and get rid of everything potentially sentimental that he has. Not anything of value. I don't care about that. But anything sentimental is just going. I'll kidnap his dog for all I care.
Say, man, I didn't know that you.
Did I mention I hate JJ McCarthy?
I mean, hey, that's some good lore to know, at least, for the reason why you hate him, that he flipped off the entire Michigan State student section.
I also hate Rucker McGroarty, who did the same thing and now plays for my Penguins when he yelled at, the Michigan State hockey student section. But
you're a big Michigan State fan, huh? So
I did go there for a year.
You did go there for a year, so I mean, makes sense that you would hate JJ McCarthy as much as you do. All right. All right, great answers all around so far. We have one more question left of this Tournament of Champions. So people might say baseball players don't have any personality, but I disagree, all right? I think one of the best parts of the sport is the aspect of walk-up songs. Baseball players have an opportunity to show some personality, like their music taste, maybe even get the crowd pumped up, or possibly intimidate the pitcher, who knows? If you had a walk-up song, what would it be and why?
I'm going to go with one of the greatest sports video game songs ever. It's going to be Let It Rock by Kevin Rudolph featuring Lil Wayne. And I'm going to do the transition from the Let It Rock straight into Wayne's World. I think it's Wayne's best feature.
I need to hear some more.
I'm not going to sing anymore. But I think it's Wayne's best feature, and it's not even on a rap song. That song is amazing. I listen to it anytime I need to get pumped up for anything. So if I had one walk-up song, it would absolutely be Let It Rock by Kevin Rudolph featuring Lil Wayne.
Okay, all right. What game did that come from again?
I believe it was in Madden 11.
Madden 11. Whoa, they got the year right too. Okay, Penelope.
So I actually very recently saw a TikTok that was like, "Stir Fry" by Migos is the greatest song ever made, and I would have to agree with that. Greatest song ever made, because it is just so. It's up there.
Oh, it's a good song.
It's up there. It's up there, and people in the comments were like, "Why?" But it was very. There were reasons to it. I mean, it's one of the only rap songs out there that's very minimal or no cussing like at all. It's just good vibes. Everybody like knows the words. It's just like a good time. No, Absolutely not.
Hey, we gotta get some beats.
No, you didn't have to do that. So
No, you gotta give
no, I don't think there's any extra points. Yeah. No. We all know how the song goes. We all know how the song goes.
They made us run to that in PE when I was in 7th grade.
All right, Tyler.
This is
Deep
a
in thought here,
difficult
I
one
can tell.
because my heart wants to go with something Houston, but I don't know if everyone actually knows that song.
Tripping on 4/4s.
Yeah. Actually, do you know that song?
I do know that song.
Great, I'm gonna go with it. Listen, there's this part of Still Tippin' that, and shout out to my mom because she's, even if I lose, she's gonna love that I say this. She. Yeah. I know, she's great. She's great. So. Not married. So. Oh, okay. So, yeah, there's this part of Still Tippin' that it goes in and it was like do 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 do, and as soon as that starts, that's when I'm walking up, because if you're that's the kind of beat you want to walk up to, something that is like up tempo, and if you're in Houston, the entire crowd is just going to start absolutely going insane. That's like Houston's anthem. And then if you're in any other part of the world, and I'm assuming I'm an Astro here because everyone's going to boo me, I'm going to play something that basically just says, yeah, screw you, I'm from Houston, I'm going to beat you. So, yeah, Still Tippin'.
Still tipping on 4/4s. All right.
I didn't get booed once this episode, by the way. He's just assuming.
Where'd that come from?
He's like, they're gonna boo me. No one's booing you at your home game. That's the only time they play walk-up music for you.
If the Astros are on the road, they're getting booed.
But you don't get walk-up music when you're on the road.
That is true. I mean, you won't even really get the walk-up song, so. But
I'll make it.
you'll make it happen. All right. Well,
What, are your own fans gonna boo you?
bet on 160 or something like that.
0-62
All right.
slump.
We're going pretty long with this rapid fire round. We were told that we had a lot of time, so we've been killing some time, I guess. It's time to finally end the show, though. I'm glad
it's not over.
all of you guys decided to spend your Wednesday night with us. This was a fantastic Tournament of Champions. I had a great time, and we're going to have a person who's never won a Tournament of Champions yet, so I'm excited to announce who that is. And with that being said, the Fall 2025 Tournament of Champions winner for College Crossfire is... One more time for the semester. Wave those terrible towels. It's Colin Flickinger.
Let's go. Wow. Wanted this so bad last year, fall semester, but as I said, Riggett Robbie robbed me of beating Goose. Now, I deserve to lose that week, but, you know, J.J. McCarthy hate will get you far in life, kids. Take this as a life lesson. Anytime you get a chance to be a hater, be a hater. Live your life with the most hate you can.
I think the J.J. McCarthy hate is valid, but it was definitely very funny.
Also, hate on 9, too. You got to remember, alter egos do count as people you can hate on.
Well, all right. Congratulations, Colin. Great job for all the contestants for making it to the final round. All you guys had great answers. I'm glad you guys.
Can I get the trophy?
I hope you guys had some fun. Well, if you're asking for it, I guess.
Oh, I got the trophy, too. Wow.
So, I mean,
spent like
that
20
was
bucks on that
impressive
at Target.
showing. Congratulations again. You now have bragging rights until the next Tournament of Champions next April. So, thank you to everyone who makes the show possible, from the contestants to the in-studio personnel, all the people in Master Control, especially our executive producer, Graybill Silva, and to you, the audience. Thanks for watching this semester. We still have 2 more shows this semester for TSTV Sports. That is Want to Know this Friday at 11 and College Press Box next Tuesday at 6. Make sure to tune into those, and thank you for an amazing semester here at College Crossfire. This has been TJ Krillitz. I'll see you all next year for some more College Crossfire.